Okay, we are going to do page 2 and 3 on this video. So this is set 9. This is still Monday, but this is going to be pages 2 and 3. So we've got our number of the day. This is 814 thousandths. I know we kind of say it thousandths, just to emphasize that THS. So we're going to write it in words. So again, we say this whole number together, 814. So we're going to write 814, and then we just write the place value. Okay, the place value is thousandths, so we write the word thousand and we just add our THS. Okay, 814 thousandths. All right, we're going to expand it. So we take the first number, which is 8 tenths. We have 8 tenths. We have 1/100th. So that's how we write 1/100th. We have to put a 0 in for that 8. Then we have 4 thousandths. So we've got our decimal. That's going to be a 0. That's going to be a 0. And our 4 thousandths. So that's how we expand it. We're going to compare it. Again, guys, we always kind of do this with like money to start out with. So how much money do we have there? We have 81 cents. So we're going to write that underneath. How much money do we have? We have 84 cents. So we're going to write that underneath. Remember, you can also stack. Okay, so you can do it like this as well. I just think this is easier. So what's greater? 81 cents. Is 81 cents greater than or less than 84 cents? Well, it's less than. Okay, we're going to round it to the underlined place value. The tenths is already underlined. Remember, we circle the number that's next. We draw our arrow back to our 8. Does that 1 change that 8? It does not. So we just have 8 tenths, and all of that goes away. And remember, when you say this answer, 8 tenths, it should be the place value that was underlined. Okay, that should be the word that you say when you say it out loud. And it is, because that's the tenths place, all right? So that is the tenths place, and this is 8 tenths. All right, we're going to estimate it. So we're going to go ahead and estimate this. We'll just estimate it to the tenths place, okay? So we've already done that to this number, so we already know that this is 8 tenths. And if we're going to round this, this is $2.20. Okay, so if we're going to round to the tenths, well, there's nothing after this, so obviously there's nothing, it's not going to change the 2. So this is $2.20. And again, I know I'm saying money because that's kind of how we do this. It just makes it a little bit easier. So if you have $2.20 and you have 80 cents, you're going to have $3 because 80 cents and 20 cents gives you $1. So you'd carry the 1. So this would give you $3. Well, what if we wanted to round this to the whole number? Since we have a whole number here and we don't have one here, let's look at it that way. So if we know this rounds to 80 cents, is 80 cents closer to nothing or is it closer to $1? Well, it's closer to $1. Okay, so this would round to $1. Well, this is $2.20. Is $2.20 going to round to $2 or to $3? Well, it's going to round to $2. So $2 plus $1 is also $3. Okay, so you can round this different ways. You can estimate this different ways. So you kind of have to pay attention to what they're asking you. All right, represented, it said, what is the value of the underlined digit? Well, again, if we're talking money, this is 81 cents. So that one would be a penny. So what place value is that? That's the hundredths. So the value is 1/100th. Let's write it as a fraction as well because every decimal has a fraction and every fraction has a decimal. So this is 1/100th. If we wrote that as a fraction, we would write it as 1/100th. Okay? All right, we are going to factor this number. We write it first. We always add the digits that we find the sum of the digits. So 4 plus 5 is 9. You guys remember what that number tells us. If this number right here is a multiple of 3 or 9, then we know those are going to be factors. Well, we know 3 goes into 9 and we know 9 goes into 9. So we know both of those numbers will be somewhere down here on our T-chart. Okay? We always start with 1 and 45. We then ask if this is odd or even. Well, 45 is odd, so we know all the even factors are out. so we don't have to worry about 2. Our number 3 would be next. We already know 3 is a factor because it goes into 9. 3, 6, 9. So 3 times 3 is 9, but 3 times what is 45? Let's do it the way that we did it in class, okay? 3 goes into 4 one time, so we put a 1. But 3 times 1 is only 3. So if this is a 4, we have 1 left over, so we put it right in front of that 5. That makes 15, and 3 goes into 15 5 times. So 3 times 15 is 45. Next would be 4, it's even, so it's out. Next would be 5. Well, guess what? This number ends in a 5, so we know that 5 is a factor. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So we know 5 times 9 is 45. 6 would be next, it's out. 7 would be next. 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35, 42, 49. So 45 is not a factor of 7. 8 is next. 8 is even, it's out. 9 is next. We already have it, so we know we're finished. So we have 6 factors for 45, and it obviously has more than 2, so we know the number is composite. Okay, page number 3. This is our word problem. It says, Janelle lives 83.9 miles from Amarillo. Lewis lives 143 4/10 miles from Amarillo. What is the difference? Okay, this is a horrible sentence. What is the difference, the two distances? I think it's supposed to say, what is the difference of the two distances? So let's just put, again, make this about you. You live 83.9 miles from Amarillo. One of your friends lives 143.4 miles. What is the difference from y'all's two distances from Amarillo? Well, if it's asking what is the difference, guys, what do we know difference means? We know that means subtraction. So are we understanding what the question is asking? Yes. We know we're finding the difference, and we know that difference is subtraction. So we know at some point we will be subtracting something in this problem. Okay, so what's our plan? Well, our plan is going to subtract these numbers, okay? So we know that we're going to line up our decimals because we've got a subtraction problem. And again, your number with the most digits, the biggest whole number, is going to go on the top. We have to line up our decimals, so go ahead and write your decimal. Your 9 comes after your decimal. Your 3 is right here, and your 8 is right here, okay? So that's our plan. We're going to subtract those two numbers. If we solve it, let's just go ahead and solve it here since I already wrote it. We are subtracting, so 1 minus nothing is 1. Does our friend need help? Yes. So instead of writing a 1, you can write a 0, or you just know it's 0 and you're going to give that help to your friend. Okay, 14 minus 8 is 6. Does our friend need help? Well, guys, we got a double number here. Remember, when we have a double number, we have to look here to see if our friend needs help. So you have to look next door if you have two of the same digits. So 14 minus 8 is 6. We've got a double digit, so we look next door. Does our friend need help? Yes. So we go ahead and take 1 away from that 6 and we write our 5. Our help never ever skips, so we do give our help to this double digit. So 13 minus 3 is 10, but we already know our friend needs help, so we're taking 1 away from that 10, which leaves us with 9. We give that extra help to our friend. 14 minus 9 is 5. We bring our decimal straight down, and the difference between these two distances is 59 and 5/10 miles. Okay, now we look here and say, was this reasonable? So we had a number that was bigger, we had a number that was smaller, we were finding the difference between the two. So does that make sense? Is that reasonable? Well, yeah, it is. Okay, so you know that you're done.